Track number 5 plus track number 6, interlude, are one and the same. This is one big, long, continuous track, but track number 5 is called Heat. This song, straight up breakup song.
Love it.
That's all it is.
Love it.
It's a good old breakup song. So, as you know, I moved to another country for this person. I would absolutely...
I didn't know it was for him.
It is true. I was planning on traveling when I met him. I actually think I was planning on moving to New Zealand when I met him. And, I don't want to go too into it. He was Australian.
I was going to ask if...
Yeah.
If you had never been with him and through the breakup, would you
I
still
would've
have traveled? You
definitely.
still would have gone to
Yeah.
Australia?
Yeah.
You still, okay.
I actually think when we met, I was, because we worked together, and I was on my computer and I was looking at like maps of New Zealand and like travel packages of New Zealand or something like that. And I actually think he looked over and went, oh, Australia's better or something like that. And had me. He'd moved back to Australia early. We did long distance for a while. I was working for an Australian company in Toronto. So transferring over to Australia was really easy. So there was a lot of just going for myself. And I think that was really important for me to do, that I went over for a job that worked for me. I made my own friends. I had my own apartment. And I honestly, I loved my life there. And, you know, we were together for a couple years. And that was that. I won't go into too many details about the relationship, but it wasn't perfect. And when we broke up, I had to give up my visa I had to leave Australia because I legally wasn't able to live there anymore. And that was really hard because I loved my life there. It was an amazing life. But Heat specifically was written about our breakup. And our breakup was really sad. I think we wanted to be together really badly, but we were not good people for each other. And we just were not on the same page. We weren't nice to each other. We just weren't good for each other.
And heat is like, it comes
the
from,
word heat, right, yeah.
Comes from the line, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen.
Exactly.
Correct, yeah.
We couldn't handle the pressure of being together because a lot of the pressure of us being together was for me to have a visa to stay in the country. And that's so hard. If that's what your relationship's about, it's too hard. Mm-hmm. So I kind of took that line as like, we couldn't handle it, couldn't handle the heat. You know, it opens with heat, couldn't take the fire. And countless woes and country codes. So it was like all this travel. We thought about moving to different countries to stay together. It was all about visas and travel, and it wasn't about us. This song was produced by Marcus Paquin, or Paquin, depending on whatever's easiest for you. Marcus is gold. We recorded it entirely live off the floor, no click track, just I was at the piano, and there was this like glass panel, and I could see the drummer and the bassist, and then Marcus was up in the control room. So I could see everyone. And since there was no click track or anything, we had to like keep watching each other. So every time there was a beat, we had to like use our bodies to do the beat. And it was just that was like, that's music. And then the interlude out of Heat. This was just like a fun album thing that I've been inspired by a lot of different albums that have these kind of cool instrumental interludes. I wanted this moment to have like a checkpoint where you can just stop for a second, kind of reflect on everything that you just heard. And when you listen to the vinyl, if you have a record player and you actually listen to it on vinyl, the interlude is where it stops, and that's where you have to flip the record. So I actually wanted to write a musical part that was just like, when the song was over, the record stops playing, and it kind of stops you in your tracks for a second. You're like, all right, what did I just hear? So I wrote this poem, and then it ends with this line, 20 metal birds take flight. 20 metal birds is an airplane. And coming off of a song like Heat, about like traveling and breaking up and moving countries for someone and going through all these things, and then ending with this poem about like 20 metal birds, like where am I going to end up? I have to keep traveling. Where am I going to go? Where does this healing take me? And so the sequence of this album so far was to get me to this spot of like So much has happened so far. So many stories have been told so far. Breakups, travel, parental loss, pandemics, illness, whatever. I wanted this to be like a quiet moment of like 20 middle birds, like where next? Where will we go from here? And then that was the first half of the album.
The light went out on Abbotsford. 20 minutes